Hello, today we'll be showing you how to fit the air filter, which is an important part, to the Red's engine and getting it all set up and fitting it into the MP9 TKi3. Okay, so you take your air filter from the kit. It's important that you get it the right way up. You might notice these two lugs. This is to hold the foam away from the body, so it's important that you have your manifold of the air filter in the correct position this way, and once you have it up this way, you'll notice that there's two marks on these as well, which also holds the foam away from the body. And you've got your locator here to stop the air filter moving around on the stay connected to the centre diff mount. So first of all, you want a good seal. So what I do is I super glue like you would be gluing a tyre to a rim. So you put a nice bit of glue all the way around, so you're creating a good seal. Once that's nicely around there, make sure this is the right way up, that way. Pop the rubber on. Make sure there's a good seal of super glue all the way around, you can see it. And then get a nice width zip tie. That's exactly in line, not too fat, so you don't create any gaps where the actual zip tie meets. And then we have a thin one for the bottom of the carburetor, which fits in the slot here. So you're looking for this the groove underneath the carburetor. So you want your zip tie to more or less be the same size, but we'll come to that later. So once you've got your super glue around there, it's a nice seal around there now. You put the zip tie around. I put it around this way, so it's just at the top and then around, so that it doesn't get in any way of your fuel line, because they can cut through the fuel line. Any vibration or any rubbing will do this. So all I do is pull that up, make sure it's pulled up tightly with a nice pair of pliers, and then cut it flush with a nice sharp scalpel, so you've got no sharp edges and that won't cut through your fuel line. So the next part is the air filter element. Obviously take the middle out. You can use this for packing in your battery compartment or in your receiver. Everything helps with the vibration. What we do is we place the air filter in the Ziploc bag. You put plenty of oil, start from the inside. You can see why we use a plastic bag now. And then make sure that all the oil is into the filter. So once it's evenly coated all over, just check it all over, make sure it's got a nice even coat, and inside and out, which is all good. What I suggest you do is you don't straight away put the air filter on. You leave it in a bag with the Ziploc bag open and leave that for 24 hours. The reason we do this is because you have a spreading agent on the air filter oil, and if you just put a tissue around it afterwards and put it, you take most of the good tacky oil out of the air filter, so you could cause yourself some dust creeping through the foam. So leave this open for 24 hours. So what I suggest you do is all your air filters together, and it's to save time. Once you've done the 24 hours, the release agent should have evaporated, and you zip up the Ziploc bag and you keep them and you take them trackside, and we suggest you change every hour. So once you've left your air filter for 24 hours in the bag, just gently squeeze, take some excess oil off. It shouldn't be too much air filter oil come off. And what we do is we put some grease around the ends just to stop anything leaking. This just creates a seal. around the outside of the air filter. So once that's done, place that on there. You can see that that provides a good stick in there, and the same with this side. Make sure it all fits together nice. Make sure all the ends are fitting nice. And then just apply the 2 screws, don't over tighten the 2 screws, and that's your air filter ready for action. And you've got a good seal and a good quantity of oil on there. So you're ready to put the filter on to the thing. Make sure this line is in the alignment. Make sure this rubber goes all the way down. This is why it's easier to do this with the engine out of the car. It's always important. Once you've set all your linkages up and everything like that, you do that. So that's looking in the right position. You don't want any gaps in between here. So what I do is I push down on this, make sure that's all solid. Then I get my zip tie. I always run it, because we run the fuel line around here, you want the knot of the zip tie down the bottom so it's away from any fuel line, so it's not going to rub or cause any holes in the fuel line. So we were talking about earlier where the zip tie goes in the groove. Make sure that's in that position. It doesn't move out of any between the 2 rubber guidelines. So when you do that filter, make sure it's in the middle. Put that, and you should be able to pick the whole engine up. You should be able to pick the whole car with the engine up with that. If it comes off, then it's no good, because you only need your air filter to come off for a couple of seconds and the engine's ruined. So just cut this off, make sure it's flush. Make sure there's no sharp edges there. Got your return spring on there. And there you have your air filter fitted, ready to go back into the car.